All right, here we are.
Look, there's only half a Cherie. Come
Hang
towards
on,
me.
I could fix it a little bit here.
So you have to let me in.
Yeah, gotta move, Zoe. There you
All
go.
right. So microphone, camera there.
I don't like.
All right, guys.
Wait.
Hey. Oh yeah. Welcome to another Kahuna Happy Hour with our special guest, Red.
Hello. hello. I understand you've been warned about me.
Yeah, we warned. They're having champagne, as you can see. It is ladies' night. I'm just going to be on chat, and I'm going to let them just, do their thing. Because I have a hunch it's going to be a fun thing. So.
We don't even know yet.
They don't even know what they're doing yet.
Mine,
But they're having
mine got too bubbly.
champagne.
No, the tip is to put the tip in, and then the bubbles go down. Like so many things.
Okay, then.
God.
This is when.
No, wait. Before
wait.
the Kahuna the Elder goes.
Oh,
So, the three of us have done a lot of life together.
Yes.
And it's really important for you guys to know a little bit about the rapport. Leo and I have known each other since we were, 7th grade, so 12?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And Mrs. Kahuna, I met her when she was still kicking the Kahuna the Elder's tires to see if he was a keeper.
Yes.
And we met for cocktails in Arizona and poo-poos, and this girl, she was looking at me like, who are you? Exactly. So after we got through all of that, we really bonded, and we've done a ton of life together. So there really isn't any question that you can't ask. Just remember, it's PG-13. I'll give you a little more background on me in a minute, but the whole goal is to have some fun and to give you all a little more permission to negotiate maybe some sexy time with your partner or yourself. Solo play is good too. With a sex toy manufacturer, director of sales. Yay. So I have to ask Leo.
I'm just gonna sit here and
Oh,
nod
no.
my head.
You're not going to get away with that one.
Yeah, you're not gonna get away with that. So Leo, because we went through junior high and high school together. If any of you watching actually know my real name and know who I am, this would be the last profession that you would ever think that the Bible verse spouting, dance, singing, review, theater, journalism girl would ever do. So my perspective is really, really different because I came from a very constricted environment. I'm still pretty conservative, but I believe in talking about all sorts of stuff. So, right, Leo?
There is nothing you won't talk about.
That's true.
There is nothing you won't talk about. You will talk about pretty much anything, much to the dismay of some people who really would rather not talk about some subjects.
Well, I don't necessarily initiate them.
No.
I'm very punny. And if you say something like she did with the champagne bubbles that gives me a lead in, I'm probably going to say something racy.
No, you will. Not probably.
Not probably, it's will.
Okay.
Yeah. Also,
Own it.
also, you do not brook any idiocy.
No.
You do not suffer fools lightly.
No.
So if you kind of took a little bit of Grace Kelly and a lot of Beth Dutton, that's what you get with me.
I don't know who that is.
Beth Dutton is the lead character in Yellowstone, and she is
I've never watched that.
Chick. Like, she doesn't speak dipshit. Neither do I. So.
No.
Yep. My students know I don't do well with
this is why we get along really well. Because when she first met me, she's like, oh, look at her. Like, she's kind of, wow, she looks like a girly girl. I don't know. Can we have some fun?
That took all of about 3 minutes.
And
I was feeling like crap that day too. Remember, I got really sick afterwards. I had that nasty cold.
Yeah.
Oh, so I wasn't at my best.
I thought it was amazing. So here we are.
I'm going to let you ladies take over.
Okay.
I'll be downstairs watching on the big screen and chatting.
Who's so disappointed? So Cal Grumpy, why are you disappointed?
That's terrible.
Because it's PG-13.
Oh, well, I just
don't
don't.
go anywhere, though.
I just don't.
Wait.
How do I know when people are in the stream?
What do you mean?
It says 7 viewers.
Yes.
But I don't know who they
So
are.
we don't usually call out lurkers.
No, I
so
know.
they can just watch.
Yes.
But if they say something, it'll just pop up on screen.
So,
Do you want the veggie tray?
How do you know if you're in the stream? First, we start with a little bit of dancing.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna die.
And here's no, you're not. You're not as you know what this. See, here's my thing that I've taught all over the world, from a business to business perspective as well as business to consumer, and I'm trying to keep my eyes on all y'all too. So I've been asked every question you can possibly imagine, and probably some that you don't want to imagine.
And the stories.
I've seen
Red
things.
can tell.
I've seen things that you can't unsee. That actually is a thing. But also in the decade that I've been working as, in some kind of leadership or lead training role in the sex toy industry. We call it pleasure products, but the pleasure products industry or running a personal lube company, I've pretty much seen it all. So don't be shy if you have any questions, and
I'll just defer.
play.
I'll just defer to Red for that.
So
Look at this desk. Can you stand this?
I can't stand it because I'm up. So I'd like to talk about the dildo in the room.
Oh my god. The heck is
Isn't that ridiculous, you guys?
What is that?
I mean, I don't mean ridiculous in like shaming. I don't believe in shaming, but like, look how long it is.
Is there actually a human one that's that size?
No,
I mean
horses.
a real life human ever have one that size that you know of?
I think y'all would be John Holmes, right? Yeah. I mean, and do I know some performers? Yes, I do know quite a few performers, because the pleasure products and the performers kind of, in the adult documentaries, I like to say, cross paths.
You are so kind.
And I actually had, so at that time, my son this is the first job. I worked for a vanilla kink company. So think 50 Shades of Grey with Velcro and harnesses that you put non-bio penises in, toys in, and all kinds of things like that. And, some little writing crops. So we had a bunch of our products placed in a couple films. And so the owner of the company comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Red, what are you doing?" And I'm like, what am I doing?
What do you want me to do?
And he goes, sending you to Burbank for 2 or 3 days, 2.5 days, whatever. And you need to teach... Is your boyfriend going to be okay with this? Because at the time I was dating my second husband, and so, and everybody thinks going on a porn shoot is something super, super sexy.
Oh,
but
God.
But once I tell you about this, I'm not sure if you're going to have your fantasy left.
I don't think you'll ever look at it the same again.
Well, because it's work, right? And it's intimate work in front of 40 people under hot lights. So I was sent up to teach several sets of performers how to use restraints, so how to tie each other up safely, how to use our particular type of vibrators. We had a line that was designed for play in the shower, how to get the little footrest in there. So I show up, and I am...
Little Red. I mean, you guys can't really see her. She's about this thin.
I'm tiny.
And she's about, what are you, 5'4"? On a tall day?
No, I'm 5'8".
You're that tall?
Yeah, I'm 5'8".
You're
Yeah.
that much taller than me?
Yes, but you're bigger
Even-
than me in absolute attitude. You have more attitude than me.
What?
See? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, if she was my teacher, I would work so hard to get her on my side. I would find out what kind of fruit she likes, what's her favorite little cat video. I would do all of that. So anyway, so I get, I'm like dressed in my little conservative jeans, and everything's all covered up and nothing's too tight, and I'm looking serious. I'm wearing the company little embroidered shirt. And all the way up, driving to Burbank from Orange County, I'm getting text messages and phone calls from clearly my boyfriend of the time decided to tell all of his pals that I was going to go up and be on a porn shoot.
Oh, no.
Yay. Yeah.
How'd
So
that
I had
go?
it was annoying. So anyway, I get up there, teaching them how to use it. And here are these two people that never met each other before, and they're going to play. and you have all the editing bays and screens and all the different camera angles. There's 40 of us on the screen.
So you got a mini Kahuna layer?
It was huge. It was a huge soundstage, and we even had a shower.
Oh, so we have the mini, and they have the max. Got it.
So
I meant that. I just am not feeling all that well today. And the champagne,
the champagne will help. So anyway, I get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure who are the performers and who not. So the director comes and takes me by the hand, and I show him how to. I tie up this very handsome, little tiny guy, handsome guy. Well, I mean, his body size was tiny because as I'm showing her how to restrain him, his star performer springs to life.
Oh, God.
As I'm bent over like this, you guys, I'm like, oh, wait, okay, I'm gonna tie you up. All right, so we get that handled. Embarrassing. Get that handled. I'm trying to be totally professional, like I'm around this all the time, and I'm bright red. And so I sit down. The director asked me to sit down next to him, and he has several monitors. In my prior life, I had my own editing bay studio, recording studio, and all this stuff. I was in the music industry for a lot of years. So I'm sitting by him, and when I would run shoots, I did continuity. So we're getting really up close where things are starting to go into things. And we have a really up close shot. And both of these performers were French Canadian, so they didn't speak any English.
Oh, jeez.
So
Do you speak French?
I understand a lot of it. So as they're going at it, you know how we say yes, 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 and well, she's saying wait, 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 and she's doing it so fast, it starts to sound like
like an animal.
She sounded like a little pig.
Oh, God.
But I notice that she has 5 o'clock shadow. So I lean over on her poontang. And so I lean over to the director and I'm like, hey, don't you think she should shave that? So I was allowed to be on set for the 3 days that we were allowed. They offered me a job for continuity, and I turned it down, and happily ever after, I went back to the office and never was on a porn shoot again. So it's not as sexy as people think it is.
Something happened here. Kahuna, can you come help me?
So we're drinking Moet and Shandong because Girl and I haven't seen each other in a long time. So I'm going to share another quick story.
Wait. There.
Hey, Mrs. K, relax and move back a little.
Well, this chair is not, that's my normal chair, and this is Kahuna's chair, and he's all like, he does this, and I can't sit like this. So
I love the comment. This stream is not what I expected, but I'm into it. Okay, so let me just share a little bit.
Oh, wait. Now something came up. I don't know what's going on.
I got you, boo.
What's up?
Well, there's lots of stuff here, and there's little stuff here.
So, So there's lots of stuff here, but little stuff here. So let's talk about size, shall we?
Okay, what you're not seeing is the stuff that's automatically put up there. You're seeing all the right streams. So
Why am I in? Oh, hey, Karen, nice to see you.
And yeah.
Do you know Karen?
I don't
Nope.
know. I don't think so.
Different high schools?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So a couple things. I'm gonna share some stories, and that porn story went on a little bit, but you know what I've noticed, because I've traveled this year notwithstanding, right? We can't have nice things right now, but if you are in partnership with somebody, or you have a close little circle where you can play with one another and you feel like you're going to be safe from the big nasty that we're trying to all avoid, that I got in March anyway. Not from that, from grocery shopping. Or if you're by yourself, this is the time to really explore the things that, you know, you've always been curious about. This is the time, because you have the time to take your time. And I speak to people literally all over the world, with a few exceptions. Obviously, some of the countries where my kind of toys, like the UAE and some of the other, you know, when I was selling lubricants, it went everywhere. But with the toys, there's actually some countries, and probably the ones that you would recognize and be like, oh yeah, they're the ones. We can't sell into those countries, and a lot of customers try to buy on our website.
Oh, and you can't even.
We can't even drop ship
How
to those
come?
countries.
Is it illegal? I mean,
it's
is it a
purient, and it's. They're also very, very. They may be a theocracy where the feminine isn't honored in the way that we do it here.
Yeah.
So, for me as a woman to buy a vibrator, to go and buy a vibrator in one of these other countries, it would be considered that I'm not getting permission from the man that I'm married to, who is in charge of all things about me.
Because you're like chattel.
Yeah. I was trying not to say that, but yes, you can say that.
We say that.
I know, but I have to be careful.
Oh.
Right? So
I'll just put it plainly.
Yeah. So here's the deal. With all this extra time that we have to talk with one another and to go, hey, I've always wanted to try restraint play. And notice I'm saying restraint play and not bondage. Because
they're different, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a little different. So one is like a heavier commitment into creating a scene and different kinds of consent and impact play. And the other is just, it's a softer introduction of kind of feeling like you can be tied up, but, I can't do anything, and surrendering to your partner. Are you guys with me?
I have a control issue, so,
Well, because you might be a top, but I don't think you are.
I just am not anything.
Everybody has certain things that are drivers, right? So the biggest thing that I'm hearing from couples is they don't know how to start the conversation. So how do you start the conversation? You talk. And I swear to y'all, if you're in a straight marriage or a straight relationship, LGBTQ as well, but I'm just going to speak from my perspective on what I've experienced and also what I've been told. Guys, when a woman wakes up in the morning, she knows if she wants to have sex or not later in the day. We've usually shaved, we're prepped, we're feeling sexy, we kind of know. So if there's,
I am not a morning person.
Right.
At all, ever, in any way, shape, or form.
I'm hey, anytime. Anytime. And the poor man at one point said to me, he goes, I can't believe I'm actually going to say this. And I'm like, what is that, babe? He goes, I don't think I can do this again right now. Can you just, I mean, if you still want it, can you show me, why don't you take care of you and I'll watch? And the poor man, he was exhausted, but I still kind of was still hungry.
Oh my gosh.
So it's one of those things that as partners is kind of a push me, pull you, and talk. So if you're a dude, if you're a lady, if you're more the dominant person in the relationship, and you seem to be maybe the one also that is like, I don't know. Do the dishes. Do the dishes. If he or she wants you to wash the car, fold the laundry, like when you do those little things, it talks to a lady's lady parts. Because she doesn't have to think about that. Because if I'm in the middle of having sex and my house is a mess, I'm not present with you.
Kahuna, are you listening to this?
I hear this a lot. Who's that? Oh, Twitch Magic. There you go. And here's the other thing.
Yes, I am. No. Ladies, that's me.
Ladies. Community, LGBTQ community, whatever it is, right? Wherever you're at, I see you and I honor you and I'm grateful for you. Here's the other piece. If your partner is finally doing those other little things like putting the dishes away and not just handing the dish for the dogs to lick and then putting in the dishwasher, like rinsing it off, or their stinky, smelly hockey stuff is staying in the garage out of the bag into the washing machine, then the onus is also on you to do a few things that they really like. So, does that make sense, y'all?
That actually makes 100% total sense to me.
Yeah. So
And, you know, over the course of the last little while, I have said often that I feel like I do everything around here. And like I've asked for people in general, not just Kahuna, but people who we live with, to take out the trash, please. And I get the and I'm like, what I really want to do is punch them in the face. No, actually I want to throat punch them and cause a need for a tracheotomy.
well, I mean,
Just a simple thing like that, and it just really grates on me.
yeah, and so when we're shifted into those spaces, then I find myself when I had a bunch of teenage boys, had a blended family. I raised my son, and so he has to this day as a grown man, well, ish at 25.
That's grown enough.
Grown enough.
His frontal lobe is fully developed,
Yeah.
therefore he is a
Yeah,
grown
and
man.
he has his own house. He was FaceTiming me the other day, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, if the floor's dirty, my house isn't clean." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" So whatever the thing is, right? And so in the spirit of equity, then the other stuff, right? And so my person loves me in high heels, adores me in high heels, and maybe just high heels and a smile sometimes. Other times, rapping, right? So how I know that isn't guessing. We talked about it. I said, so what are your preferences? What do you like? And in order to do that, I have to know what I like. And that's really more the education.
I'll tell you what
Right?
it's easier for me to tell you what I don't like than what I like, honestly.
For most people, but that's a negative
know.
space to operate in.
Yeah.
And so
I don't like, I don't like a lot of that.
so Cal Grumpy.
I don't
You guys are killing me.
I don't like a lot of that lingerie stuff because it's itchy. And I don't like the way it feels. I have a sensory issue with it.
Well, then,
And I know Kahuna likes the whole idea of me in one of his dress shirts, which I also don't like because they're not soft enough.
well, so then this becomes an opportunity to, instead of, so you know what you don't like, right? So then you pivot and go, okay, this is what Kahuna likes with me. And his shirts are really scratchy. So how do I go hunt around and find one that isn't?
Get softer dress shirts.
Well, right. But I mean,
Yes.
but that's part of it, right? And so there's some stuff that my person adores doing with me, and I'm still very uncomfortable with it. But here's what I've learned with that. There's also a certain amount of titillation of doing a little edging and moving into some spaces that make me uncomfortable because I know I'm safe. But as far as like lingerie, I got resources for that, girl. Like it, and here's the thing.
Hello, Amazon.
Right. But, or hello, go shopping with Cherie because she knows all the places because a lot of my friends work for manufacturers.
I also have this problem where most lingerie that I have ever seen or found or even kind of like just doesn't fit me anywhere.
And so that's the other thing is finding the right place.
Because, I got like
You got the
these
girls.
boobs and then I got this big butt and I'm fat and
Stop.
blah.
So here she just illustrated something that I adore her for. I have a terrible body image. My inner critic is a trained assassin. That biatch knows right where to go and tell me all the things that aren't really true. So part of intimacy is
Wait, I
feeling
know
good.
I'm fat though. It is true. My doctor even tells me I am.
But when it comes to intimacy, that's not what your partner sees.
Well, that's true.
Your partner sees his beloved or her beloved or their beloved, whatever your pronoun is. So shifting my mindset and then also being vulnerable and talking to my partner and going, I have a terrible body image. I work out and I've taken really good care of myself,
I
but
hate sweating. I can't work out.
but the thing is that it's getting past that because for a lot of people, our inner critic chatters like this, and then you don't play because you're busy doing this. I just had a couple friends talk to me about it not too long ago, and it's just like, Do you love each other? Do they do it for you? Yeah. Okay.
End of story.
Yeah, and then affirm each other. Because honestly, our partners probably have the same thing. Like, my partner is really hard on himself, and I just said, I see a person that I love, and you do it all for me. And then, not to be too vivid, I make him test and see if that's the case, and it always is. So,
Oh, hey, Aegon. Nice to see you.
what did I get an UGG for?
Who said ugh? Karen.
Oh,
I don't know. Karen, what's the ugh for? Oh my god, I'm
so
sweating.
if you guys have questions, it's warm in here.
It is warm in here.
If you guys have questions, pivot them at me. I'm going to tell a couple funny stories. So,
Hey, can we turn the air up?
I was
We're
raised
learning
by
things.
I was raised by Southerners. So, even though I grew up in Southern California, when I walked onto any of my family's properties, it was yes ma'am, yes sir, like all that, and a lot of manners. And so my clients, my business to business clients, sometimes it's store chains. So wherever you guys are from, if there's a store nearby you, I probably know them and I probably sell to them. Because it's a much smaller business than you guys realize globally. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, but it's much, much smaller. We all know each other. So,
Southern.
so
I love that laugh.
I went back to visit some of my customers in North Carolina, and here's the other thing that's going to be kind of surprising for you guys: the pleasure products manufacturers and some of the lingerie are small family-owned businesses, or they're generational businesses. Same with the stores. There's some of our Southern California stores. It was a woman started all these stores. They're at 57 stores now, mostly in the West Coast, Pacific Northwest and West Coast. She sold her business, and this is the only publicly traded company. But most of them are owned by families. So when I go to the South, I have my nice luggage. I would bring my heels. And a lot of times when I meet with my customers, I might dress a little bit nicer, like in a dress and all that stuff.
How do I not moderate? I don't know how to let that comment through, Kahuna.
What comment?
This one, it's moderated. So we need to click on something.
Okay, so but if you grow up in toy manufacturing,
We also need to address this.
yes, I would love to come to Poland. There was some stores that were thinking about buying my products, and they buy through a distributor. Usually, there's a show in Germany in the fall every year, and
How do we get the unmoderated things?
my balls are sweating.
Yours?
Yeah, my chesticles.
Well, I am like,
My chesticles.
yeah, it's really hot in here, honey.
Okay, so yes, I'd love to come to Poland. Usually there's a show.
Oh yeah, move the fan.
There's Venus in Germany, in Berlin, and then there's Aerofame. Oh. And I
Don't
a
have it
dress
oscillate,
on.
please.
Um.
Have it stay this way.
So
Okay.
You don't have any wine, do you?
Do I have wine?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I was going to bring you guys more because I was seeing that the bottle's starting to get empty.
Oh, we're good for right now.
There's wine on the mantle.
So anyway, unfortunately, there was no shows this year, and hopefully next year.
Oh, forget it.
there will
Forget
be.
it. Forget it.
What?
I have it.
So-
I was gonna say bring me ice water, but I have
Anyway,
it.
so I gone to, it's a chain of 36 stores. Met with the family and the buyers. And yeah, yikes, making products with your mom and dad. But if you grow up around it,
It's like not taboo.
well, it's not just that. It's like, I'm size blind now. I don't have a perspective of how big some of the toys are. I know they're big and I know the dimensions, but I didn't realize how big the toy was, like the one I just showed you, until my cat laid down next to it.
Oh, geez.
And I could compare it, right? So it's just like selling ice cream or working in a restaurant, or if you work at a place that sells car parts. At some point, it doesn't have the same wah-wah, and I'll address that later because that's a big topic in my industry. It's discussed often, when you talk about sex all day long and intimacy with strangers, then how do you, and you have to have some professional distance. How do you get those walls down so when your partner who isn't in the industry most likely wants some sexy time and you want some sexy time? You know, I found myself in the middle of intimacy once thinking about how the product was working because it was one of my products.
Instead of being in the moment.
Right. So anyway, so I gone and I had to run and catch a flight. And I'm dressed in a nice dress and heels, looking just like the businesswoman that I am. And have my carry-on go through.
Oh, no.
And...
Did something start vibrating?
Oh, no. No, it's worse than that.
They wanted to check what was in there.
Yeah. So,
Got it.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum. These guys. They pull my Brighton suitcase aside, so it's all swag. Open it up, unzip it. And I'm thinking in my head, what do I have in there?
Yeah.
What? And I went, oh my God. So I had a golden sample that I took for these customers. It was about this long, right? With a little pull on it. It was graduated anal beads. So, and silicone. So I'm standing there and I am absolutely going, oh my God, and they make this big deal. They take it out of the Ziploc, and Tweedledee does this with it, hands it to Tweedledum, who does the same thing. Now there's a crowd gathering.
Oh God! And they're like, "Oh, look at that!"
Oh yeah. And then puts the beads in his hand like this, which is one of the ways we demonstrate how it would pull out. Pulls them out gradually, hands it to the other guy. The guy sniffs it, starts to sniff it, and as he's sniffing it, Tweedledum goes, "Ma'am, what are these?" And I'm like, "They're anal beads. Did they smell like roses?" Drop them, push my bag. Everybody's laughing around me. I am
beat red, I'm sure.
red. Oh yeah. I'm one of the last people to get on the plane. And guess what? All the people that were gathered, they were on my damn flight with me. I got a standing ovation when I got on board. I was so drunk by the time my husband picked me up at the airport.
Oh,
because
my
they were
God.
drinks and oh my God. Yeah, true story.
That is so funny. You know, you were talking about how it, like the...
Hey, babies.
I don't know who it was. Who said it?
Educating the teenagers?
Yeah. Well, and the... Zoe, stop.
Zoe, come here.
About, like, taboo and stuff. One of the things that my ex-husband and I decided when our kids were really little was that sex and you know, the birds and the bees and that talk and all of that was going to be something that was going to happen with both of us.
Right.
And that it was not going to be one of those, you know, taboo things that you just don't talk about in our house.
Everybody says that.
Well, but both of us were raised Catholic.
Which really impacts a lot of this, y'all.
And I am a recovering Catholic. I will be perfectly honest with you. But at the time, I think...
God, we're getting blown so nicely.
I know, doesn't it feel nice?
Oh, my God.
I think my oldest was in 3rd grade, and there had been a news story. A 12-year-old had been molested by an ice cream man and had gotten pregnant. And she was like, how does that happen? And we're like, well, okay, let's sit down.
Yep.
And we just, you know, talked about it, and my middle, well, now she's my middle child, although she's my youngest biological child. So now my middle child, I find out all kinds of things that I really don't need to know as a mother. But I'm like, okay.
Well, but here's the thing. When you have a safe place where you can talk things out, and I, obviously, because most people know what I do, I become that safe place. But when you have a safe place where you can talk your love no matter what your kink is, and you know what? You're loved no matter what your kink is, as long as it's consensual, it's of age, and harm to none, right? Right? So in that harm, I know a lot of people think about kink, and the thing is that's consensual. impact play, whether it's spanking or a paddle or whatever it is, that's consensual. So when you negotiate that between the two of you, and then you have safe words and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if it's non-consensual, and that you can actually have non-consensual things happen within a relationship because it just sort of happens, and then you're like, oh, what just happened? I call that dolphin sex. And you're like kicking them off. I call that dolphin sex. But I mean, I'm joking around, but consent is a thing. And so
It is.
But the first place for consent is yourself. Like, if that's the way you want to be touched, if that's the way, and it's kind of like driving a car. You need a little training on it, great. But you don't really know how it's going to handle until you put your hands on it. And that's the same as our bodies, right? And if you have, like, I was raised very strict. And
being from your family,
yeah,
having the southern roots.
I mean, I stayed a virgin until I was 18 and a half. And, like, all
I think
ways.
I was 20.
Yeah, and but you know what? With so many things available now, and
I was 19, I was 20.
young people that are younger than us are navigating this with such grace, where we have a lot more stumbling blocks because, like, just the conversation about pronouns, just the conversation about,
We live with that in our house.
yeah, just the conversation. It's not preferences, it's how you're wired. My preferences is going to be what I like to eat, what I like to wear, those sorts of things.
Your
But
favorite color.
right, but how I'm wired, that's not a preference, it's how I'm wired.
Yep.
So,
I agree with that.
yeah, recovering Catholic, I hadn't heard that before. Yeah. What's also, yes, safe, sane, and consensual. So what's really fun to do? There's all kinds of fun games out there. There's a company called Kepler Games that has some great, fun little prompt games that kind of help you get over your shyness. So, like, I'm not asking, the dice said to ask this. You know, so it's a great tool. But I think there's something really tender when you can sit down with your partner. And when I mean sit down, like, maybe you're eating dinner or you're just hanging out and you go, hey, you know, a lot of the movies we watch now, Outlander has some hot sex in it. Vikings.
Have you ever read those?
Read all of them.
See, I read the
Loved
first.
them.
I read the first two, and after that, I was like, these are all effing the same.
I loved all of them, but I love
have
historical
others.
fiction.
Well, I do too,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily love that series.
Mm.
I mean, I like the dynamic between
Oh, Jamie and
between Jamie and Claire. The dynamic is fabulous, but I'm not a fan of the amount of. I mean, each book is like 600 pages.
yeah, but I also like Ken Follett. So
And I've never read any of
I
his
mean,
stuff either.
you know, for me, I'm a nerd that needs to escape. So
Okay.
my first erotic novel.
Um,
Yeah, so there's lots of good erotic
Wait.
novels out there.
Automod held a message for reason sexual. Allow, we'll post it to chat. Kahuna, you did it when you were here, but you didn't show me how to do it. So,
Let's talk about erotic novels for a second. So
wait, what about this? Can you do that or no?
can you name my company so people can check it out? I'll give you some clues. So we're a small women-owned business. We design and manufacture all of our products in the United States. There's only 5 companies that do that. Most of the companies are not designed and made in the United States. So we have some amazing products
There's another good question too.
that are designed to
You need to.
hit your G spot, your P spot, all that sort of stuff. So
Click
thank
on
you
where
for
it says
asking.
Twitch next to multi-stream.
Oh, I got this crappy mouse now.
And then what was the other one?
Now, see where it says
Sorry,
His.
looking.
Oh, there.
allow.
Here.
Yep. That's it.
So
You
I
can just go
click
back-
on Twitch and then allow,
Yeah, and then go back to multi-stream or you won't see Karen.
and then I go back to multi-streamer. I won't see Karen.
Okay, so
I'm learning technology today.
So finding out your likes and dislikes, you know, some of the fun things to explore that with. Again, I was kind of talking about series and
Yes.
and not just. I'm going to talk about written erotica in a second, but Vikings, Black Sails, Outlander, Game of Thrones. There's so many of those series that are adult oriented that have some really hot scenes. And so if you find something in there that kind of makes you go, you feel those little like tingles, you feel that, or you're sort of like a little breathless with it, then that's probably something you're interested in, because our bodies respond to stimulus on us in visual and spoken. I mean, we have all of that, right? And some are more than others. Like, I love written erotica a lot. I need to read it because then I can visualize the people.
Well, and I think that it's different, like you said, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Because when I read, the way that I see a character in my brain may be totally different than the way you see him.
Right.
So I'm envisioning them the way I want to see them, and you're envisioning them the way you want to see them.
Which is why most individuals wired towards the feminine typically like the written word more than the visuals. But the reason why I brought up the series is because the cinematography is so beautiful and the character development is so well done that when they engage with one another, there's a connection that you feel. So that's one way to do it. Written erotica, visuals. You notice I'm kind of talking more about mainstream stuff and not so much about the adult documentaries. Those are always a tool. The only thing is that you need to be mindful that it's a tool, because there's really, with the other things, and I'm not saying it's not a great tool by yourself or with others or whatever.
Oh my God, my offspring is on.
Sorry. What I'm saying is that when you leave a little bit to the imagination, whether in writing, because you're filling in the blanks, or in one of those series where you don't see absolutely everything, then there's a certain amount of titillation to it that you get to fill that in.
Yeah, you fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
You visually fill in the blanks in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. And so your offspring is on this. So I was going to say there's
that's okay. You can talk. You see, there she is right there.
LOL.
LOL. Hi, Mom.
So let's see. We answered those questions. Okay. So,
did you answer that one?
Okay.
Or
well, that's what we were talking about with the
okay.
various tools. So if you don't know quite what you like,
I'm like 3 times farther ahead of you on this than you are.
The other thing
that didn't make any
is
sense.
that if you can't
You just stuck your finger in my drink.
Yes, I did. So the other
it's okay,
thing,
I still love you.
Okay, so the other thing is giving yourself consent to touch yourself. I mean, I can't. I mean, I'm fortunate that I have a partner that I don't know. I know exactly what planet he came from, but he's amazing. But even with that, there's that I know what I like, and being able to help, because I live in this container. He lives in his container. So talking to each other really helps. And I find hen parties to be really good when women have a little libations and be able to talk. It helps because it normalizes whatever you're struggling with, if you're struggling. And everybody struggles with something.
Let
and it's
me
just
know
normal.
If more wine is desired. Bottle is at the ready. Thank you, my love.
Okay, so depending on how adventuresome you are, I'm 29, I've been married 5 years, and I should be. I love that you're giggling.
You are not 29. Who are you kidding?
Giggling is awesome because, okay, so if you've ever remember having roommates in college and you're hearing all the sounds like a sloppy BJ. It sounds like my dog licking himself, honestly. That happened the other day. We're having a great time.
I've met Fritz.
We're
He's
having
just the sweetest.
We're having a great time, and the dog's like, and I just start laughing in the middle of what we were doing. If you can't have some humor and some joy, you're missing out on the freedom with intimacy. I'm not gonna look like one of my friends that is amazing on film, but I can look amazing for my partner as long as I'm present. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you are not 29.
I wish I was 29. I gotta know what I know now.
Wouldn't
Jesus
you
Christ.
know, I said at one point in time, and it was like when I was going through my divorce, wouldn't it be awesome if we lived our life the way that we do age-wise, you know, like we progress age-wise, but we're born with all the knowledge that we'll have from the time we die, starting at birth, just because we would make so many better decisions.
I kind of disagree.
Well, but you also wouldn't become who you're meant to become by making the mistakes, I guess, too.
Well, but I don't really think it's so much that as I think empathy and compassion is learned through failure and hardship.
We were talking about that with the offspring the other night, about empathy. And I said that I believe that empathy is something that every human being is capable of. But many people have lived through something that has totally blocked their ability to be empathetic. No matter what it was, because of how they dealt with it.
Part of that, it just my perspective. Part of that is because, so full disclosure.
Oh, do I think there's someone else? Am I thinking of the wrong person? I might be. I think that I'm maybe attributing the name to a different person. Sorry if I'm wrong.
That'll get you in trouble every time.
I know.
So,
I'm not good with all those names. Kahuna's the one who manages that.
So
he's even got this map.
He has a map
of all of our followers.
That's awesome.
That shows where they're from. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome. So here's the deal.
Oh, okay. So yes, they are 29.
Okay,
it was my bad. My bad.
So to the empathy question. That's okay. That's alcohol abuse. Stop it.
No, I spilled a drop.
Judging her.
I can lick it off my pants.
Yeah, that's fun too. I will tell you what's not fun. Y'all, what's not fun are these hand sanitizers that we wash our hands with it, and then your partner maybe doesn't rinse it.
Oh no, what's worse is jalapeno peppers when you've cut them up.
Well, sure, but when the hands are touching your tender parts, just
burn
to the
city.
So the thing is that I feel like empathy. I think if somebody shuts off empathy because of a trauma, it's compensating behavior to deal with trauma is to be super capable and not need anybody. And the first thing to do is to wall off your emotions. So, my husband died 2.5-ish years ago.
We were talking about that at dinner the other night too.
Under a ton of tragedy and bad choices. And Mrs. Kahuna and Kahuna were just pivots that just helped me go through some things that, I had enough hubris to think because he was the 5th family member I'd taken care of through hospice that I knew how to navigate it. But losing a partner,
story.
It's totally different. And as I have walked through this crucible and come out on the other side, I've really been willing to look at things that are hard. And the empathy that I was missing was for myself. And as I started to get the affirmation personally, and then with a few people that I trust that I was going the right way,
I was kind of along for the ride. Kahuna was really
she was really there too. But as I started to really be kind to myself, it opened up a whole lot in my life, a whole lot of freedom. And one of the gifts, besides being all Beth Dutton and I don't speak dipshit, I have this freedom about myself. So when my partner announced himself, who I've known all my life, by the way, oddly enough.
I just think that's so cool, though.
Yeah, I'm wearing the boots he bought me for Sadie Hawkins.
Aww.
Yeah.
You've kept them all that time?
Yeah, I'll tell you that in a second.
Okay.
So
you're like a little kid. This is so great.
And what's so amazing is that then I gave myself the freedom to, within consent and safety, in all of the areas of my life, to see all the colors again. So if you have one takeaway from this lovely time together, is you are brave enough to do the biggest work. It's the 12 inches between your heart and your head, right?
And you've been through heart and head separation and joining and separation and joining. And oh my gosh.
Yeah. But here's the deal. Like, it made me a better person, and I do have my bruising that'll never go away, but it's giving me the freedom to step into hard places and know not only will I be okay, but I'll thrive through it, and I can help.
I know that time in your life was very difficult. And it happened, and it happened shortly after Kahuna had his triple bypass.
Yeah, I know.
And I remember sitting...
And you guys just got married.
I remember sitting in your little sitting area right by your kitchen and talking about this. We had come over and we brought like a veggie tray and the meat tray.
Yeah, I eat weird.
No, it's fine. It was actually kind of nice. And I remember saying to you, I am so sad for you, but I am so happy for me that I haven't had to go through that yet. And you said to me, thank you for saying that. And you were like, you were so kind to me about that, even though I felt I was being selfish.
Oh God, you weren't. See, that's the beauty. Thank you for sharing that. That's the beauty of all of this, you guys, is that we can still speak into each other's soft spaces when we reach for kindness first. And sometimes kindness is holding a boundary and telling somebody to F off, too.
Oh my gosh, and I've seen Red do that. Ooh, man, have I seen Red do that. And I was like right behind her saying, hey, I can kick their butt after you finish.
So, it wasn't selfish. What I took it to be was that meeting in the middle of I see you and you see me.
Yeah.
And is there anything more important in the journey than doing it in community? And sometimes that means, like, what I had to go through is I had to curate my life because my husband that passed was a great collector of things and people, and I am not like that. I have never been that way. I'm kind to everybody and I like everybody, but I don't need to have like a bunch of people around me to feel like I have a community. Like, because here's the thing, y'all.
I need to tell you.
Here's the thing, y'all. If I chase after somebody who doesn't treat me right and I have to chase after them hard, that means I'm taking time away from this person because I only have a certain amount of time every day. So I'm investing it in this person first. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first, and then you help others.
Yep.
And then spending my time with other people. And how does this relate to intimacy? Because without the connection and feeling of community, there's absolutely no way that I could actually feel connected to my intimacy if I don't know what it's like to really meet in the middle like we did. And we knew each other-ish. Not as well as we do now, but we knew each other-ish. And she took that risk.
I definitely am a risk taker when it comes to people, though.
Yeah.
I always have been.
Yeah.
And just the position that you were in, I kept seeing myself down the road in your position.
Yeah, because he died 5 days short of his 55th birthday.
I know.
And because he was mostly a public figure in my area, I basically put on my best Jackie Kennedy because it was the right thing to do for everyone and to be there for everyone. So by the time that was culminated, it was over a year. And the bubble wrap was starting to come off, and then I had to focus on myself, and then there was backlash of that.
Oh my gosh.
So and I just saw, I'm sorry for your loss. I just saw one of you share. Just breathe and be gentle with yourself. And one of the things that I did is I knew, I don't know if you guys are Lord of the Rings fans, but you know the Eye of Sauron? That's a lot of flame. And I knew that I was going to have to walk through that. I knew.
So you could get through to the other side of it.
Well, I didn't know if I was going to get through the other side.
Yeah, well,
I didn't.
We knew you would because we knew that we were going to pull you kicking and screaming.
See, well, there's that. See, back to community, right? And intimacy in the mess. Because it's easy to have friends when things are nice, as we've all experienced this year. You know, who are the people that are really in our way? Who are the people who are checking on us? The best thing to do is start your day with gratitude and start with yourself first. I am grateful for being able to breathe. I'm grateful that my son calls me every day. I'm grateful that I'm able to
Your son is
think.
a fabulous human being. I really like him.
But but one of the things is like I straighten my shoulders. I put my tiara on because I have a tiara in my head, and I decided.
I have a halo.
I see she has a halo. I have a tiara.
Mine's a little.
I was gonna have
tarnished
to
and tilted, but
walk through the fire of the Eye of Sauron and let it burn away the things that didn't serve me. And if that meant it burnt away me in the process, I made that choice to walk through it. But there's people who are going to pull you out. So feel what you feel, because if you don't feel it, you can't heal it.
oh, hey, Kajitan writes, thank you for joining us. And you know what? I'm sure that we could talk Red into doing more streams with us.
I would love to do more streams. I'm a Reiki master, if you guys know what that is. I've been a Reiki master for over 20 years and taught meditation for 15. And so walking the path with authenticity and feeling and honoring how I feel and taking responsibility is a life journey. So if I can help by sharing me, I'm happy to help. So have
we'll
sweet dreams.
we will definitely
Do a weekend.
advertise.
Let's do a weekend.
We'll definitely advertise when Red is going to be here again.
And so this was a big circle, right? We talked kind of fun about sex and intimacy and negotiating what you want.
Oh, hey, Bob. Hi.
Bob, where's Bob?
RPG Dinosaur
Oh,
Bob.
nice. Hey, Bob.
He's a big friend of Kahuna's, an online friend of Kahuna's.
Oh, awesome. Hi, Bob. So here's the thing.
So we went in circle here.
You start with you first. Get to know you. Be brave enough to ask yourself what you need. There's a great tool. It's called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. She's one of my favorite writers. Everybody has an inner artist and creative in them, no matter what you do for a living. There's a creative space, and it's a 12-week step-by-step. And I'm about to do my 4th one because I'm in a different space in my life.
You
And-
for sure are. Because
Yeah.
just from the time I met you to now, which has only been about, what, 4-ish years?
4.5 years, yeah.
I have seen evolution and change. Which I'm
thank you
sure,
for
but I'm
that
sure
blessing.
you've seen that in me too.
100%.
It's just, it's the experiences you have in your life and how they shape who you are and
Yes.
how you deal with them and how
Yeah.
you handle them and how you grow through them.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to write that down for me.
Well, and that's the thing. So journaling is a great tool. So one of the things that Julia Cameron asked you to do is do morning pages. Just do 3, and it's a stream of consciousness. So I keep a journal. It's interesting. I have never given anybody the opportunity to read my journal, but my partner can pick it up and read it. Because there's things in there that I will say that will give him an opportunity to know where my joys are that maybe I don't talk about because I'm kind of, I'm actually an introvert, y'all. I'm kind of careful, but it gives him a chance to really see my hurts, my joys, my frustrations in an unvarnished way. So, I mean, that was a big step, but I've journaled since I was 10. So, another great tool. And the best intimacy you can have is with yourself. Knowing yourself first.
I'm like, what do you keep dinging for?
I don't know.
Okay.
One of my friends.
So we're gonna order Chinese food for dinner. Are you good with Chinese food?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So,
I'm mostly vegetarian though.
yeah, I know, but they have veggies.
Okay. Yeah. So, I changed my diet. I changed my life, as you guys have heard a while ago. And with it, like last night, I did have part of a steak. I'm an elk. I went to our Elks Club has steak night and chicken night, and I only ate like maybe this much, but it was so good.
You
Oh my
know-
God, I had more energy today too.
It's really funny because the older I get, the less I like the protein parts of my meal. I eat
Protein's really important.
I
though.
know, but I eat very little compared to what I used to like. So,
So you guys wanted to hear, how do I say that?
I don't know.
So, sorry, I'm dyslexic.
So we're just gonna say Sarucus.
So,
We may be wrong.
as you go on this journey, continue to do what you're doing and share. So those of us who have walked the path can help make it smoother for you. I'll tell you straight up, when you lay down at night, you're laying down with yourself. So doing that work is really important, and letting yourself have your feels. And you don't owe anybody an explanation except, sharing with your partner if
Right.
you live with somebody, so that they can be tender with your time. Words can even be, I don't know, I'm feeling scratchy. I'm not feeling like myself. When I do that with the people around me, I take the pressure off myself, and then I give people around me the opportunity to speak into it. So then I don't feel alone, because sometimes I'm such a jackass. I'll make myself feel all alone because I have people reaching out to me, but I'm not talking to them. So stop. Like, if somebody wants to be there with me in the mess, I have to trust that they want to be in the mess with me. So be tender with yourself. Let yourself feel it. Understand it's going to be in layers. Not like an
It's like-
onion, more like bubble wrap.
So here are the vegetable options.
Oh.
What do you think you might want? Do you like spicy?
No.
Okay, me neither.
See, here's the thing. If I have really, look at me. I'm a
Yeah.
ginger.
Do you
so,
turn like purple almost when you have too spicy?
no, I break out in shingles if I have too spicy. Yeah, I break out in shingles.
Wait, you had shingles?
Yeah, I
So
get them.
now
I get them.
Oh.
And so let's talk about
Okay.
COVID-19 a little bit.
You
So
want like this vegetable chop suey
that looks
thing?
good.
Okay,
Yeah. So here's the deal.
I'll order that for you.
Thank you.
You're
We all
welcome.
feel a little isolated, which is why this stuff matters. So I have a couple people that, other than my partner, that I talk to, and my son, who always FaceTimes me almost every day, which is amazing. Yeah, my cat and my dog I talk to too. I am
Which-
that person.
You know what? I'm not a cat person, but Katniss,
Katniss Everdeen is amazing.
she is.
She is. But, to have a couple people that you can check in with and just talk about nothing is going to be really good too. So grab onto those things that bring meaning and give yourself permission.
Thank you.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. We're,
You know what? Let me put a caveat on it. We don't claim to be self-help gurus. We just
No.
have lived through quite a bit of shit.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I've tried, and there's like I said, Julia Cameron's amazing. I love her writing, and she's written plays, and yes, she was married to that Cameron, and she's a playwright in her own, and a movie writer as well. And there's like Gary Zukav is another good, Seed of the Soul is another great resource as you're walking on the journey to unpack what's going on inside you.
I
Because-
just finished.
Because
Wait.
Because here's the deal. We
Let
may
me
think
make
that
sure.
we're all unique, but there is somebody that's going through what we're going through. Right? Aw. LOL, Sam, I'm getting called away by my kids. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Let me just look at the cart. Go
And
ahead.
so here's the deal. We're going to do this again. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I'm not a therapist. I don't play one on TV. But what I am is somebody who's walked through life and continues to walk through life with as much authenticity as I can. And if my pain and things that I've learned can help somebody else, then it's not a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Also,
agree with you.
joy is fun too. Learning through joy is really good. So, do you want to know about the boots?
The what?
The boots?
I want to know about the boots. So we're going to hear about this Sadie Hawkins boots story because Red's current partner,
You got to be really careful.
she has known them since birth, pretty much, and she admitted that she is wearing the boots that he bought her.
Yeah,
for
for
Sadie
Sadie Hawkins.
Hawkins.
So,
When you were how old?
16. So, I've had these for 40
Jesus.
years. I'm 56. And
Wait,
so
when's your birthday?
June, late June, June 27th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Mine's coming up.
I know. 'Cause you're a Scorpio.
I am.
So
Wait, are you a Cancer?
Mhm.
No wonder.
I know. My partner's, yeah. So anyway.
It is
so,
cute. It is really cute.
So here's the thing. So he's coming over to take me out. I think we're going to a friend's party or something like that. And I actually had this outfit on, oddly enough. and I have these Tony Lama black boots on, and he looks at me and goes, "Shut up." I've had these boots, and I have resold them my entire life, basically.
Resold?
Yeah.
Oh,
resold.
sold.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, the bottoms.
I'm thinking SOLD,
No.
not SOLED.
Yes.
Yes, I got it.
And they've been sitting in a box for 10 years until that day. And every time I put them on, I giggle. It just makes me giggle because, carrying
Hey,
that with me is
Siobhan,
amazing.
aloha.
Aloha.
We're being rated, I think, maybe. Are we being rated? Is that what that means? I don't know. Because Kahuna has entrusted me with reading the chat and dealing with the bot and all that other stuff, and I'm learning. So here we go. Sadie Hawkins' boot story.
Yeah, so that's my boot story. So, and I held on to that for lots of reasons. Because he's always been my person. So, to have...
Really?
Yes, for reals. My first kiss, all of that. So here's the thing. Like, actually walking through life and having friendships around me, and then going through everything that I went through, which was heinous and gnarly. Like honestly, y'all, I had somebody say to me, "Cannot make this stuff up." I'm sitting with a few friends. It's my first time out since the passing. This woman looks at me and she goes, "You know what, Cherie? Keep your eyes open at the funeral. You may meet your next husband there."
You're joking. Someone said that to you?
I'm not joking.
Did I
she's
meet-
still
wait,
alive is amazing.
Did I meet this person? Do I know this person?
No. You can't make that up.
That's
That's
crazy.
Oh, then somebody you did meet said to me, "You know, Cherie, you're still young-ish, and you look okay for your age.
What?
You might be able to find an old man that has money to take care of you, so you should get on that and not waste your time."
And you're thinking, should I throat punch you so that you can have a tracheotomy for the rest of your life?
No, actually, I was just like, you are so broken that I don't even want to deal with you.
Oh my
So
gosh.
then to be on the flip side of this and have harmony and joy, the only reason I'm ish sharing a little bit, having this kind of joy, y'all, you got to be open for it, because it's around us all the time.
Yeah, and you know what? That's funny you say that, because my youngest biological offspring, our middle child, had been hurt several times in relationships, and I'm such a good girlfriend, and I don't know why that I'm always and I said, you know what? I said, the right person is going to come along for you. You just need to remember that you need to put your heart out there, because the joy that you can experience from that is always going to be greater than the potential hurt that you will experience if it ends.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I almost died of a broken heart, as you know.
I know.
Right? But you
And you know
technically
what?
don't die of a broken
Do
heart.
you know what's so ironic?
Hmm.
Courtney was here that weekend.
Yeah.
Courtney and I were at the beach. Leo was going to pick us up, and
When I went into the hospital. So my perspective has been that, I'm here to experience. And when I have built up those walls, when I put that castle around me, it keeps me hidden and keeps me in and keeps me isolated. So it's taken me this long with help to break down the walls. And at the end of the day, even if something shatters for me, at least I know I grabbed it. At least I know that I was brave. At least I know that I had
Right.
sovereignty and joy over the experience.
I've always told Courtney that it's much easier to put the pieces back together again than it is to spend your entire life thinking, what if, what if, what if.
Yeah, and it's almost like wabi-sabi. I don't know if you guys know that Japanese principle of that when a vessel gets broken, you fill it in with gold.
Yes, because that makes it stronger.
Right. So why wouldn't we do the same thing?
Yeah.
And I truly believe, you guys, that from my experience, for me, my perspective is I don't I live in as much unity as I can. I'm not compartmentalizing. So this is my sex life, and so this is my volunteer life, and this is me racing sailboats, and then this is me with my son, and this is me with my friends. Like I'm the unified me with the gold and the broken spots, and I have decided that if you don't like me, then bye. Go.
Then they can. Then if they don't like you, they can just have the salute that we give to Carl's Jr.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: like, a lot of us in our age range have been trained to please, and in that pleasing, I lose myself because it's like eating cotton candy. It doesn't have the substance.
I think that's part of I think that's part of the issue that I have with my relationship with my mother, because she always pulls the, well, I'm your mother. You should just do it because I'm your mother.
You know what? I pay my own bills. Bye.
Well, but my thing is that
That's lame.
I'm not going to turn into. She has many times said, "I can't believe you're my daughter. I can't believe you're my daughter," just based on things that I believe that she doesn't. I mean, politics. We are on exact opposite ends of the spectrum.
We're not talking politics.
No,
tonight.
we're not. But I'm just. That's an example, and just the whole. Like I'm supposed to like bow down and kiss her feet. And I will tell you this, I love my mother. She has done a lot for me. When I was getting divorced, she was there. She has helped me financially. She has always loved my kids and taken care of my kids when I needed help. But then she expects these things from me in return. And it's like, I work full time. I have a husband and a house of my own, and it's
You're
not,
adulting.
Yeah, I am adulting, and it's not like my job is one that ends when
No, it doesn't.
at 2:20. When my contract day is up, it's constant, and she's like, "Well, you're always so busy." I'm like, "Sorry, it's me." Well, I would do that if for my mother. I'm like.
So here's one of the things I learned, and I'm still learning it because I have a hurt of losing a friend that judged me really harshly and won't let me fix it, or at least be heard, right? So what I've been learning is that some of my biggest critics are the people that can't take my light, can't take my strength. I'm a mirror, and it makes them. Have you ever seen chimpanzees really lose their minds at their reflection? Like, ah! It's like that. They're losing their mind at their own reflection, and they're the ones that feel that they're less than, and so I have to have demands put on me in order to make myself smaller, make you more comfortable. I don't do that anymore. I mean, do I get a little lonely sometimes? Yeah, because a lot of times I'm rattling around in my house with the pets, and I kind of feel like I've turned into a crazy pet lady, and the neighbors in the neighborhood are like, oh, you're the widow. Well, we thought you'd be older and sadder, like weird stuff like that, right?
Oh, God.
But that mirror thing, once I started really practicing that, I started going, oh, this really isn't about me. I could go on that ride and let that joy go, or my balance could. This is the universe going, hey, remember that lesson about self-worth? Remember that lesson about valuing your sovereignty? Do you really mean it? Because I'm going to kind of F with you a little bit.
I think part of it with my mom is that I think generally, I don't think she's a very happy human being.
Right. So you're happy, and so it makes her uncomfortable.
And I think that she tries to suck me into her vortex. And I'm not about that.
Right. Sibian, the writer, you are never, ever, ever alone.
That's Siobhan.
Siobhan, sorry. You always have yourself, number one, and then you have more people around you than maybe you realize. But what I've also learned is that the journey to self-actualization and acceptance, no matter who I lay down next to at night, I've got to be able to handle myself. I have to accept myself, and that takes time. So be gentle on you, because you're worth it. At the end of the day, you're worth all of it.
It's true.
Yeah. Some other people. Oh, thank you guys for all the affirmations. It's really awesome. We were really looking forward to doing this. Yay! And yeah. So honestly, it'd be really fun to hear topics. We can pick this up. And if you guys wanted to do the artist way together, we could also do that.
The what?
The artist way.
Oh!
If you guys get the book, and we can unpack a few things
Oh.
and share a little bit.
I never even thought about that.
It's an amazing journey, and it's a lot. I promise you, if you guys pick up the book and start it, there will come a point. I don't know what the module will be, which chapter it will be. There will be one that you dig in, and you're like, heck no, I'm not doing this. This is BS. That's the chapter you really need to concentrate on.
Oh my goodness! See those little coconut things?
Yeah.
So 12,132 total little coconut things to the Mrs. Kahuna's Pie Challenge.
What does that mean? I don't know. What does that mean?
So I don't remember the number. Oh, and Macaro. Oh, Macaro! I didn't even know you were here. Macaro contributed 38,000. So I don't know what the number is. Kahuna, put in the chat what the number is for me.
Do it.
When we get
Off with your. That's all.
okay,
So
when
I said, give the sad writer a chance.
when we get to 400,000 of those little things,
Yeah.
then I get to smush a pie in Kahuna's face on stream. And we are over halfway there. So keep it coming. And you know what?
I can bake that pie.
No, it's supposed to be a whipped cream pie. We're just going to do whipped cream pie.
So like Soupy Sales. Oh my God, I'm
Yes.
so old.
Oh, look. Grumpy contributed. And I know on the pie challenge day, Grumpy will be here.
Okay, so y'all, here's one of the things I'd like you guys to think about. Just try it on. You know, try it on. If it itches, don't do it, but try it on.
I'm all
Right?
about the itch thing.
Try. I know, that's why I said itching. So Thanksgiving is just like 2.5 weeks away. Don't hate me for saying that. I know. But here's the thing. What I would
realize too, we have viewers that are Canadian.
right.
We also have viewers that are European. So.
Right, but I'm gonna explain it.
Yeah. So American Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yeah, and you know it's all about the food and the football, and like my son's bringing home a European dude and 2 other dude bros that can't go home, and so I'm gonna have testosterone over the house, which makes me really happy. We're gonna play games, but one of the things about Thanksgiving that gets overlooked is
The thanks part.
yeah. So wouldn't it be
Yeah.
amazing if, and 5 is a great number because it's part of the golden mean. So it's about balance. Balance isn't in even numbers, it's in odd numbers. So what if you write down 5 things that you're thankful for, making 3 of them things that you're thankful about yourself for, and then do 2 about others. Try it on. It's a good practice because then it shifts your focus about your worth. So I just wanted to leave you with that.
Kahuna, I don't think that your birthday is on Thanksgiving this year. I think your birthday is actually on a Monday or Tuesday. And Thanksgiving is on Thursday. Because the 15th is on a Sunday. So 15 and 7 is 22. That would make the 24th a Tuesday? It's a Tuesday.
Thanksgiving is the 26th, I think.
That means that the 24th would
Yeah.
be a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes, well, you know, those of us who have November birthdays, they're all close to something. Actually, we have in our home, no, you're the day after Thanksgiving, right? So it will
Oh my God.
in our
All these
family,
meaty pantses.
in our family, we have my brother's birthday is the 8th. I'm the 15th. Kahuna's the 24th.
Uh-huh.
Our housemate is the 21st. B is the 27th.
Bras are the devil, just so you guys
I know. B is the 27th. B's partner, Lisa, is the 22nd. My daughter, Courtney's the 29th, along with Kahuna's brother, Carl, is also the 29th.
Yeah.
And that's just the ones I can think of at the current moment.
That's a lot.
Well, I think we were all Valentine's Day conceptions. And some of us came on time, and some of us came early, and some of us came
Well,
late.
I love when I come on time. I mean, who doesn't? And that happened. She just like, here, Take that.
Oh, Darth Nicholas, your birthday is the same day as Kahuna's.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is so cool. Well, we have.
We're about ready for food. What?
Yeah. Well, we usually go till 5:30, but we can end early.
I don't need to end early. I just wanted to make sure that I'm respectful of everybody's space, because I spent the whole week by myself. Because maybe I'm talking a lot.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Kahuna, would you like to come up and join
us? Because we're not talking about squishy parts anymore.
So maybe you could actually, what would be fun? I think that maybe what you should do, Kahuna, is come up and join Red, and the two of you can talk about all of your history together.
Oh my God, being in plays
some
together.
of the funny stories you've got.
Oh my God, being in plays together.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the crazy stuff.
Darth Nicholas's mom is on the 22nd, and brother is on the 16th. Yes, I think that
Everybody was around Valentine's, huh?
My mother at one point said she's surprised that she has 2 children, because Valentine's Day was about the only time that she and my dad ever had sex. And my brother's birthday is the 8th of November.
All those Scorpios.
Yes. And yes.
All those sexy ass Scorpios.
No, actually, I don't need to pee, but your chair is effing uncomfortable.
We can switch chairs.
No, it's okay. I think it would be nice for Kahuna and you to chat.
Yeah,
some.
I mean, we've been friends. He took pictures at my wedding.
Uh-huh.
This was before they met.
Yep.
And we've been in a ton of plays together and journalism together and
There he is.
Quit complaining.
I'm not complaining. It's warm up here. I want to pull my hair up, and I'd like to just chill for a little bit since I haven't been feeling all that great. And I think that, Red
That's
would.
what I'm hearing.
I think Red would like to, spend some time with her friend. Not that I'm not her friend, but
Yeah, totally. I'm like, what?
You're gonna have to find your way out.
Yeah. Well, pull the chair.
No, you're good.
I'm just holding still.
That's probably the best plan. Okay.
That's what I've been told, but I'm not really good at it. I wiggle a lot.
I'll see you.
See you in a little bit.
See you in a little bit. That's Maverick.
Hi, Grumpy.
He's the grumpy.
You're a Maltese, that's why.
No, he's actually a lots of shits.
Really?
Yeah.
Lots of shits.
And yes,
No, it's true.
trust me, every morning.
His mom was a Shih Tzu and his dad was a Lhasa Apso, and I actually was there when he was born.
That sounds like Schitt's Creek. Lots of shits. Yeah, we killed a good bottle. So that bottle, I've had that bottle for a year, and I've been saving it for a special occasion, because I'm a champagne whiskey girl, and then I'll do some red wine. But yeah, whiskey, scotch, and then champagne. Yeah, I like when it burns. That's right, when it burns.
Oh man. Oh, this is what I've walked into.
Yes.
You know what the scary thing is?
What?
Because this is on Facebook and YouTube at the same time.
Yeah.
Facebook actually?
Is exploding?
No, it actually does real-time closed captioning of it. I'm going to have to go back to the beginning of the show. I'm going to have to go back to the beginning of the show later and see if it closed captioned everything.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Because, yeah, I was like, watch it goes, oh, fix the curtain. We can't. That curtain.
You know what? And your dog sniffed my girl parts and lifted my dress up. And then I jumped in the front, and then Zoe went to my butt and lifted me up in the back, and I jumped. It's like being at home.
That's Zoe.
Like, what's going on?
That's Zoe. Zoe likes...
What's happening? Where
sniffing.
you been?
Yeah.
At least I was wearing underwear for a change.
You're new.
Yeah. But I had underwear on, so that was nice that I did that for a
Always
change.
a positive thing for the dog.
Yeah. I'm like, they have dogs. I probably should wear chones.
Nobody judges.
I've been known to hand my chones to my partner at a dinner table out at dinner.
Honey, this is really uncomfortable. Hold this for me.
So, yeah. Oh, God. I did it after a show. We were in LA last January, and he came to my show to meet some people, because it's always good. It's always good for people to see that you're not exactly single. And also, I wanted to show him off because he's damn handsome. And we went to a nice sushi because I eat like an otter, and we're sitting there, and he's just like, and I'm just sort of wiggling, and I go, honey, I need to use the ladies. I'll be right back. And I get up, and he kind of puts his hand up for me to kiss it, and I kiss it, but then I put my chones in his hand, and I keep walking, and I hear, Jesus Christ! Well done! I mean, I'm 56 years old. Come on! I mean, at the time I was 55, but I'm like, what are they going to do? Kick us out? It's going to be a $300 bill with the sushi. It's fine. The things you all are learning about me, all of my 905 followers on Facebook. Yay!
Hey, they've learned plenty about me even.
So this one and I used to, in high school, we would go out on the stage, and you would, I don't know, it was Rick Wakeman or it was something.
Oh, yeah.
That was junior high, but then in high school, because you and Walt were in charge of all the sound.
Yeah. So it was either Rick Wakeman, Styx. Styx was big.
Styx was big. Boston.
Early Van Halen. You get sometimes. Yeah.
And then they would do
yes.
Dead Kennedys for me, and the Pretenders and the Babies.
Yep.
You guys would do that for me,
And
you're
then
like, fine.
yes, and Pink Floyd. But then again, we had a choir teacher
Oh my God,
who loved Pink Floyd.
she loved a lot of things.
No.
You were talking about, yes, in junior high, yes, he
Wait a minute.
loved. Yeah,
Yes, he
loved.
loved Pink Floyd. In fact,
His wife almost killed him in a car. Remember when his wife tried to run him over?
no.
We were all like this in our face against the glass.
No, I don't remember that one.
That is not the definition of intimacy.
Yeah. Be the opposite.
This is what you don't do.
Yeah, don't do this.
You wreck your car.
Yeah, he would at one day decided he wanted to prank us. So he put on Careful with That Axe, Eugene by Pink Floyd. And he had an awesome sound system.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, the old massive speaker cabinets, and it was all built into one big rolling cabinet with a turntable. And we were just, we're listening to this, and Careful with That Axe, Eugene has this really kind of mellow, kind of symphonic kind of vibe, and we're all kind of lulling into it and almost falling asleep to it. And then you hear a voice saying, hey, careful with that, careful. And then it's this, "Ah!" as somebody gets hit with an axe.
You know what? That's teacher revenge.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so in junior high, because we were in a choir, and I choir because we were really good. We got invited all over the place to sing. But remember, it's the late 70s. So, Saturday Night Fever has come out, and the unitard, like the little bodysuit with the wraparound skirt, brown, it was all brown.
Oh yeah.
The moms made these terrible, terrible skirts for us. And we're in Pasadena at this church, and it's during the
That was
Christmas
when we went
season.
to San Marino.
Yes, and it's the Christmas season, and our bell choir was there
Yep.
too. Well, a couple of the ladies in the choir with us, we were all part of it, didn't take into account that when you take a deep diaphragmatic breath, skirts fell to their ankles. In junior high, yes, that happened in church. It did.
And this is a really old church, so it's like, very reverent, very high arch ceilings.
And there was 2 performances too.
And beautiful echoing sound. And drop skirts.
Yeah, 3 of them pulled around their ankles. And of course, we're supposed to just keep singing. Singing.
And of course, we're teenage boys. So we're like...
Right, and again, we have a leotard on, right? But when you're in junior high and that happens, you don't think that you're covered up. You think you're standing there in your nightmare with your pants that fell down in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We did a production of Annie.
Oh God.
It was an odd production, really, because at that point, Annie wasn't available.
Yeah, a
anyone.
couple parents wrote the script,
Yeah.
and we got the music from the play.
Yep.
So it was an interpretation, and it was really a lot of fun, but it was odd.
It was odd. I played FDR.
Yep.
An FDR who apparently was so spry he could jump on top of tables.
I also don't dance. I can do like I can dance by myself and like improvise. And I can line dance but like the kind of dancing that all the cheerleaders and song leaders and stuff like that do,
Yeah.
where you have to all have steps. Oh my God! I thought one of the moms who was in charge of that, I thought she was gonna shank me because I was doing my best, but I don't dance. I ride horses, I shoot guns, I ride motorcycles, I act. I don't freaking dance. Don't we have pixies for that? Right? And so she's like, she looks at me and she goes, so for you, we're going to have to make it more simplistic so you can get the steps. And I'm just like, thank God. I've been telling you I don't know how to dance.
Yeah.
And I don't. And her daughter was like the dancer of like our junior high and high school. And I'm like, I don't dance. I'm a singer. Singers don't have to dance. At that point in society, singers weren't Beyonce. Like, we just sang.
You stood
sang.
there. You just stood there.
And we sort of moved, but we freaking sang. We brought it, but we didn't shake our poontang. Yeah.
So to speak.
Don't you remember that? Because you were sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
He was sitting in the audience. He's like, oh my God. And then you look at me.
I did that a lot.
And he goes like this. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. I played the villain in Annie,
Yeah.
by the way.
Miss Hannigan.
Yes, and it was because she had great songs, and I wanted the good songs. And I also kind of didn't like some of the girls because they tortured me. They treated me terribly. And so it was really fun to be mean to them and get away with it. It was awesome.
Well, the
It
girls,
was all acting.
the girls who were the orphans, for the most part, were ones that really
Tortured
couldn't
me.
do much else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they were. My two memories of that show that will never was we actually performed the show at the local high school,
Which we went to eventually.
which we went to eventually.
Yeah.
And of course, we were just using just straight, flats, which at the time was basically just, a 4x8 Muslim covered frame with like an L-shaped bracket that stuck out the back, and it just had weights holding it down.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I had to do, and myself and the guy playing Daddy Warbucks, who by the way had hair.
Yeah, he's passed.
Yeah, been a while.
I know
probably
his
about 10
sister.
years.
She's one of my chuckers at the Ralph's by me.
And he and I had this really quick change. We had to go from suits
Oh my God.
to tuxedos.
I forgot about this.
And it was just off stage.
I forgot about this.
So we start one of the changes one night. I don't know what happened, but the weight came off of one of the flats.
Yes.
And all you saw was this flat go poof onto the ground. And we're like, and nobody could see us, but we didn't know that. All we hear is this noise, and we're standing there with our pants around our ankles, trying to get dressed.
Junior high again.
Yeah, junior high again. Doggy cam hasn't fallen. It just, there's a bag in front of it, and you couldn't see anyway because it's dark.
Right. Sorry, it's my stuff.
So
Where
this
I put
thing,
the thing.
so this thing fell. So we're like, okay, well, we just keep going, and then, as if by miracle, someone figured out, hey, we need to pick up this flat. So they got onto the brace and put their weight on it. So now this flat that's laying on the stage just slowly goes back into place. And we're just like, okay. And we kept going.
Didn't we have something similar happen, but it was with the girls during Sugar? Because I was Sugar.
Oh, yeah.
I was Sugar. This was in high school.
Yeah.
And the fact that I got the lead, I guess,
Hey, Daz.
was a big thing. Remember? It was the
Oh,
thing.
yeah. It was a thing.
I thought it was going to be like at prom. I thought it was going to be like a Carrie episode, and I was going to be like covered in a bucket. But there was the girls that was changing because it was by the sea, by the beautiful sea, and we had all these girls from the dance portion of the high school. So that was their thing. Again, thank you, little baby Jesus, because I'm a singer. I can move. I'm not awkward, but I am never going to be Beyonce unless you put a stripper pole in front of me, and then I can work that all day long. Sorry. But it was they were changing, and then they were not dressed. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course they remember because they were working. You and
Walt
were working the sound.
And I had a crush on one of them.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't working sound.
Oh, you were
I
in
was
the
in the
production.
show.
That's right.
I was in the show.
Yeah, that's right. He was in
So
the
I got to be there the whole time.
He's like,
And see, there was a very poorly planned design of things. The way the stage worked, there was one set of doors that went out back to like the music area where the band was, and into kind of an open area. And the other door went into a classroom. And that's where they put the women's dressing room.
yep.
And the problem was, and this happened even during the dance concerts.
Oh, of course it did.
And I was on the stage crew for most of the shows. And so, of course, the problem was that you couldn't go behind the back curtain because we had a cyclorama. It's a big drape where you could put lights on it to give it the color and everything. But you couldn't go behind it because it would create waves and you would see somebody walking behind it. So you had to go backstage through the women's dressing room.
Yeah.
And I had... Yes, it is an interesting ladies' night. It was earlier. You missed it. It'll be on the VOD. You can watch the on demand because it was really ladies' night earlier.
Yeah, and we're going to do another one, too, because we did the whole junket about a whole bunch of things. And I got more stories. Yeah, but...
You know what? Where's your show and tell? Just so you get a flavor of what it was like to start the show. That's what the show...
So this is called the Amsterdam, and it's designed to look like the road barriers in Amsterdam. Oh, gosh. No, not yet. Thank you.
But you're almost empty.
Oh, yeah. I have to drive back to Orange County.
Yeah, but that's like 3 sips.
Or crash on the Murphy bed.
No, because, yeah. If I was going to do that, I should have brought my contact case.
I have an extra contact case and contact
Okay,
glue.
well, we may have to do that.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, so you missed Hen's Night, but we'll do it again.
Oh, yeah.
And we were discussing a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and we're thinking about maybe doing that for Ladies' Night here and there to add, not only just add, because we're having a good time, but a little meaning on how to create intimacy with yourself in a positive way.
You know, I had a massive crush on one of those dancers.
You would freaking everybody did. I'm like, did anybody have a crush on me?
But
Wait, the guy that bought me the boots. Yes.
I didn't have a crush on the one everybody else did.
I know. You had a crush on the normal one.
Yeah, kind of normal.
Yeah.
She wasn't, but she was one of the two.
Right.
One of the two princesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
baby.
somebody outed me directly to her.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Hello.
Somebody outed me directly to this gal, and
High school, I swear to God.
yeah, high school was
You know what, though?
I loved it and I hated it, and it was really weird.
Yeah, but it's interesting. You amongst them, from junior high and high school, like I was talking to Pam today, like I have this core group, and we've stuck together, and it's because we were the outliers. We were in journalism, we were in theater. Yes, we were in all of that, and so I think our weirdness just matured into bigger weirdness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that show was fun.
Hi. So we did Sugar. We did. Oh, and you did my monologue for Antigone.
Oh.
When I did the Antigone monologue where you guys were walling me up in my tomb and I was going to die because I believed in my cause. Yeah, I'm freaking never doing that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to make you all think that I believe in whatever the mainstream cause is, and I'm going to go in with my SEALs Team 6. I'm going to take care of it, and leave. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to Beth Dutton everybody's butt. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, drink my scotch, call Rip. Rip in, Rip will fix it. Yeah, I got my Rip.
You can see why we love her. Because, fits right in around here.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
I just live 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
Holy crap, it took me 25 minutes to go, I don't know, 3
In
miles.
that section there was probably about 3 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, and because none of us are driving anymore, I thought I calculated it fine. Oh my god.
You still got here on time.
Yeah, yes, I did, but I'm sitting there because I leave room in front of me with another car in case somebody rear ends me, so we don't have that whole thing. And it's Mercedes jumping in, a freaking Bentley jumps in and then slams on their brakes in front of my little Honda because I gave up my sports car a long time ago because I have a dog like this that needs to be in the car. Although, friend, my BF just got an amazing car. It's gonna live in my garage.
What's that?
It's a Mustang Tang.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a Mustang Tang.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
How's Fritz going to fit in that?
Fritz is not getting in that car.
Oh, okay,
He
all
can
right.
Get in the Honda.
All right. Yeah. Fritz makes Zoe look like a little girl.
Yeah. So I have an 80-pound Doge, and he's the dog of love, and he's super butthurt. I didn't bring him with me, but he is what they say is an intact male. So I didn't take his friends off of him. And if he met Zoe, he'd have a blast with her. But then his little humper would be, it would not be fun.
The funny thing is, she does that.
Yeah, it's a dominance thing.
She just, yeah, but she'll do it just like to the couch,
Yeah,
Like-
just the couch needs to know.
mid-air.
The couch needs to know.
It's like, you're fixed. What are you doing?
No, the couch needs to know. It needs to know. It needs to know that when I walk around, I own this room. Right? Yeah. See, she just licked me for that.
Yeah.
know.
That's Zoe.
She's all about my body parts today.
She's about everybody's body parts.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it can really get in, mess with your vibe.
Well, I mean, I probably
Literally.
I probably wouldn't have worn a dress if somebody had warned me.
Oh, well.
This person, as she lifts up my skirt in the front, and I have the pearl buttons, which is fun when you're with your person, and she's sticking her nose up the front, and I jump, and then she pivots really fast, and she lifts me up like a bowling ball from behind, and I'm like, I haven't seen this kind of action in 2 weeks because he's been gone.
Welcome to life with Zoe.
Yes. I mean, I at least got something.
We must be funny because I can hear.
It's like
I
a
can
bowling ball.
I can hear Mrs. Kahuna downstairs just dying.
Bowling ball. Oh, bowling ball.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just like, I am not wearing a dress next time I come. So.
The alcohol's kicked in.
You know what? Girl, that was a really nice bottle. I have some nice bottles because I don't drink cheap anything. I just don't. You know what? That's part of the privilege of earning your own paycheck and
You can choose what you want.
well,
what you buy.
and my kid is completely self-sustaining. He actually sends me gifts, which is super sweet.
Can we adopt him?
If you want to.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, he works for a big shoe company, and so he gets 65% off retail.
Wow.
Yeah, so we need to talk. So I'm gonna be sending
No,
him.
you and Mrs. Kahuna need
Yeah.
to talk. I have had this. I buy shoes every 3-4 years, and if they don't have a rubber sole, it's probably not.
My running
thing.
shoes. I was checking the bottom of it, and at here on the pivot,
Mhm.
I have no tread left because I walk probably 15 to 20 miles a week, and I've only had these shoes maybe 5 months.
See, it's so good that you do that exercise. We have an exercise bike. We've had it for about a month. Nobody's actually ridden it yet. I put more effort in putting it together than actually sitting on it,
I like
which is
walking.
a bad thing.
I like walking. Well, so when I developed my heart thing, right?
Right.
When I developed my heart thing last October, I was doing boot camp 4 days a week, and I was told I wasn't allowed to do high intensity anymore. And I got to tell y'all, I really liked hitting stuff. I used to teach kickboxing, so hitting stuff and doing things and being really aggressive, I really enjoyed, especially ropes. I love that. So I'm only allowed to do weights, a little bit of weights, and walking, or swimming, or a bike. And I don't have a bike in the garage because we're gonna have something else in the garage. So
The tang.
well, that, and then all my work samples. I have 5 shelves in my garage of just my work samples. So I had a neighbor who has littles come by the other day. I had my garage open and had the music up. And he's a really good-looking fireman. I mean, I don't think there's ugly firemen. I think that's a requirement. And substantially younger than me. And so anyway, and I've got the music going, and Fritz is there, and the car's pulled out, and I realized that there was some more stuff in the garage I didn't need, so I was putting it in my car. And then I pulled all of my work sample boxes out, and I'm going through, the bead
Toys.
plugs and the toys, and and those big things, and that's not the biggest thing I have. And the paddles and the floggers and the whips and all that stuff.
Wait, hang on. Let's just pause on that for a moment. Bigger.
Yeah. And I'm not a size queen. Like I just sell this stuff. There's other stuff I like that we have, but that's like, I actually have a piece that we have that's huge, and it's a doorstop for me. And my partner goes walking by it one day, and he goes, "You guys should make a toy like this." And I went, "Look." He goes, "Oh my God, there's like 5 pounds of silicone." So anyway, so my neighbor comes by, and he's like, "Hey," calls me by my given name, which lets you know that he's not a super close friend, because all my friends call me Red. "What are you doing? Do you need any help? Like, my wife and I just want to make sure you're okay." And he's like, what is all that stuff? And I go, "Well, you should have seen it a couple weeks ago when I had my living room covered with it and my office, and I threw a whole bunch away. I filled up 2 trash cans of things that were damaged and packaging and stuff." He's like, I go, "I'm not a porn star. I just sell this stuff." "You should talk to my wife." No. 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 No.
But now, if she came over and asked about it,
If she asked about it because she really wanted to know, yes. As being trotted out like a party favor, I hate that crap.
Oh, okay.
I hate being at an event where I'm just being me, like the regattas, just being me, and somebody goes, "Hey, ask her what she does for a living." It's just like, and it's mostly a male-dominated sport, and a lot of people know me, but then you have the Dubro Heems that don't know me, and the Dubro Heems are hoping that I was single again, right? And so then what I do for a living becomes a conversation as if I pass myself around like a party favor. And it's just, yeah. I do one of these. "I'm really sorry you have a short story. I'm not interested in short stories. Take your Capri Sun someplace else. That's all." You know I've done it.
Take your Capri Sun somewhere else. I like that one.
Who wants to do? No. Said no one ever. Ever. No. No. Oh my God, that's so little. Can I see it? No. No. Oh my God, that's so cute. Which you only say to children in onesies and maybe like, I don't know, a small glass of champagne. Oh my God, that's so cute. But never. Or I had a guy friend of mine that was a pilot when I sold planes. He's like, I tell the girls I'm this big. And I'm like, sweet. Yeah, I can shame the bejesus out of people if I have to. Yeah.
You could have used shit. We do occasionally use that. That's still PG-13.
Yeah, but I made a promise to my person that I wouldn't cuss. So.
Okay. All right.
Because I have to pay a price when I cuss.
Oh. We had a swear jar.
Sometimes I do that anyway.
We have a swear jar downstairs. Nobody's put any money in it, but because I think we probably could have retired by now.
It's like, what the fuck is that swear jar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much. We have this rule at the dinner table, try to keep, no cursing, and unfortunately, the offspring number 3 has a penchant for dropping an F-bomb. So last night, drops an F-bomb. Mrs. Kahuna gave her the stern look, and then proceeded within the next about 60 to 90 seconds, drop 2, and then another one. It's like, all right, you got 2 freebies coming. I'm like, cool, I got 3.
Here's the thing. That word, it can be a conjunction. It can be an adjective.
It's a
can
quite
be a verb.
flexible word.
And we all know the origin of it, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So tell us the story, because I think some people don't.
Well, it's in German, it is to strike.
Yes, but in England, it was to fornicate under the command of the king, which was like Braveheart. You remember the whole thing in Braveheart? So Longshanks, who was a real king, had this edict that he had first rights of first night of every bride. And that was a way that they populated what they used to call back then bastards, right? Non-legitimate children, which I never understood that, but anyway, and be able to have an army and a link. So, fornicating under the command of the king.
I'm going to drop a link for you guys. It's a
Freedom! Okay.
It is a YouTube clip. I will tell you now, if language offends you, please
Freedom!
do not watch this video. Why it is funny is because it is a description of this particular word, which we might call the F-bomb, but it is spoken with examples by Jack Wagner.
Oh, stop it. Who used to live in Newport. He went to Newport Harbor High School.
Jack Wagner, for those who don't know, was the voice of Disneyland. So when you would hear, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was Jack Wagner. He does an entire explanation of the uses of the F-bomb and hits different parts.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not going to play it on air. I have dropped the link. Please, if that does not offend you, if you think that kind of stuff can be funny, go listen to it. If you click through, it doesn't automatically start, so that's not a worry. It asks you if you're okay with the content, and then you click through. But I will tell you, it is consent. Oh, look, we wrapped it all the way back around. See, that's how we work here. We
consent.
You just to hear that voice sing those things, it's hysterical.
So it's a different Jack Wagner than the one I was thinking of. But have you heard the Armageddon clip with the gerbil?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, you've got to find that one. So yeah.
Armageddon clip with the gerbil.
Yeah, that was the safe word. It's the funniest thing, and it was read on a radio newscast, and the newscaster who was supposed to just like read the straight story starts just losing his mind and laughing, and it's see, it's so funny, and I think we all need right now, in particular, we need some giggles, as many giggles as we can get.
Can we actually play this on air?
Yes, you could actually play that because it doesn't have any bad language. Hi, Zoe. Are you gonna sniff my yoo-yoo again? Okay.
You know what? I just put the link up. You guys go. I will check it because we only got a couple minutes here.
Yeah.
We got like 4 minutes.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks for all the great feedback. And just remember, you matter. You matter. And we see you.
We are our best and worst critics. We know exactly how to criticize ourselves, and we are vicious about it. One of the things I've always had to try to remind myself and wish sometimes that other people would remember is that if you think I've made a mistake, chances are, if it's a real mistake, I have beat myself up about it so much more than you ever could.
Yeah.
That your impression of my mistake doesn't matter. Because I've already done it to myself. And if I don't think it was a mistake, all you're doing is just blowing hot air. Because I've already looked at it. I made a mistake. I made a choice. That's where I'm going. If I think it was a mistake, I've already beat myself up about it. And it's hard to remember that. And it's taken me a long time to get to that point.
Yeah, so like I always like to say that my inner critic is a trained assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know when the ninja comes up. And one of the best things, I have a dear friend of mine, his name is Daniel. And he's one of the most brilliant people I've ever met, and certainly one of the most present men I've ever met. And certainly very fallible. He'd be an interesting guest. But what he does is when we try to meet once a week, every other week, whatever, we talk about our perspectives, because remember, your perspective, my perspective, that's our world and that's our bubble. So when anybody steps into that bubble, it's all about participating for the greater good. And it's not about hearts and roses and unicorns like pooping Skittles. It's really about learning. And if we can help each other learn in a productive way, because it's not about being right. It's not about being right. It's about being authentic. So remember, you matter. We hear you. We see you. And you are a unique, walking miracle. There is nobody else like you in the universe. So remember who you are, and it'll make life easier.
I want to say thanks to all you guys for coming. Every week we have fun. I like doing these ones where we have somebody else in here because it's a different spin. And I was dying downstairs watching the two of you. We actually have. I was actually streaming Twitch on the big screen downstairs.
Uh-oh.
So I was just dying. I watched the whole thing, and it was like I'm chatting away while you guys are talking, and then sending Chinese or food orders. But I want to do more of these, and I'm totally willing to do stuff like over a Zoom call or a Google Meet as well to do it. So
I'm happy to come here. It gives me a reason to spend more time together.
Well, if you're local, but I want to do it with some of you guys too, because we have fun with you guys, and so I think Sable has said she's up for doing it, so we'll do a lot more of these. Probably at least, I would say I want to try to do one a month. I think that's a good pace. That's kind of where we're at. So,
and I think it's really important for us to check in with each other as we go into the holiday season, unlike any other, with the COVID-19 and all the other hoo-ha that's going on. And I'm not going to mention election anyway. That we check in with each other and remind each other that you're not alone, and we see you, and that you matter.
All right, so let's see who I can toss this over to. It looks like the only ones up are going to be Roll Society.
What?
Unless Roll Society.
What?
Oh, because we raid another channel.
Oh, okay.
So we send our viewers to another channel.
Okay.
If you guys know of somebody else we can go to real quick before I type out Roll Society and hit the enter key, drop it in the chat real quick. Otherwise, and I have to now wait like 7 or 8 seconds because there's that much of a delay between here and down there. That's why we would say something and then like 10 seconds later she'd be laughing down there. There's like a little bit of delay. So we'll let them go.
I feel kind of like a deity right now.
Really?
Yeah, because like we're saying stuff and then they're hearing it after we're done.
Yes. Well, You should check out one of my read streams. Actually, you and I should do a read stream.
Yes, we should. And I've been writing poetry and spells that would probably move nicely into your novel.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. And you've seen a little bit of mine on Facebook and on Insta, but I've been working on this one particular spell, and my partner read it, and he's like, "That's kind of menacing." He goes, "You haven't really cobbled that together." So I have this big chalkboard in my kitchen. I go, "No, I haven't figured how I'm doing it yet." He goes, "You need to leave that alone until Mercury's not retrograde anymore." He's totally pulling my leg.
I'm sorry, the planets are not aligned quite right for this.
No,
yet.
I mean it's intense. It's and I think because I was looking at your worlds and everything, and yeah, we should do a read.
Cool. Works for me.
All right.
All right, guys. It looks like Coffee Quills is the one. So, you guys, thanks again for coming this week. In some form or another, there will be a Kahuna Reads on Sunday, which means I'm probably going to have to work a good chunk of the day tomorrow to make sure that it renders in time for you guys to see it and uploads in time for you to see it. But at some form. Otherwise, Monday morning, join me for the Kahuna Quiet stream. You know the drill there. And
I don't, but I'm gonna learn it.
well, it's basically I just stream for about 3.5 hours, but I don't say anything because Mrs. Kahuna's teaching.
Right.
So there's just music, and you can do writing sprints and stuff like that. And we chat,
Cool.
in the chat. But
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to write that one down. All right, I'll get you, Siobhan. Siobhan's been writing during us.
Nice.
Did a writing sprint. Nice job. All right. So again, we'll either see you Sunday or Monday, or hey, come on back for happy hour next week, and it'll be me and Mrs. Kahuna.
Yep.
We're gonna go eat Chinese food. So
Bye, Felicia.
have a great rest of the evening. Have a great weekend, and hope you guys had a great time. We did.
Thank you so much. Thanks, you guys.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.